It's difficult to remember a tighter finish to an A-League men's season. With 8 rounds to play, just 10 points separate the 10 teams who are currently placed third to bottom on the A-League men's ladder. As the finish line starts to loom in the distance, every game is vital, every point is precious. Players make their way out on an overcast day, but a dry one in Wellington's capital. Wellington see 2 changes to the side that played Central Coast a week ago, both in the back 4. Callan Elliott returns from suspension at right back. Lucas Moragas replaces Sam Sutton at left back. Sutton tweaked a hamstring at training yesterday. Tim Payne returns to centre back. Josh Laws drops down to the bench. But the front 6, Rufa Jugarkovic, Sas, Kraev, Ball and Zavada, unchanged. 2 changes for Newcastle. Becca Mikkeltadze has a minor injury and won't feature. He started the last 15 matches. There's a first start, though, for Japanese international Manabu Saito. There's also a return to midfield for Brandon O'Neill, his first start since New Year's Day, with Mohamed El Tay dropping down to the reserves bench. Speaking of the benches, Costa Barbarouses is back from a hamstring injury. There's also a potential debut for Wellington Phoenix and all-white centre-back Nico Boxall. For the Jets, Thomas Aquilina could play for a second time in Wellington today, having arrived from the Mariners, who he featured for earlier in this season. Lucas Moragas comes up against his parent club for the first time. He's on a season-long loan from Newcastle to the Phoenix. Having started just 8 times for the Jets in the last 3 seasons, he starts for the 14th time in Wellington colours today. We're underway in Wellington, the quintessential A-League men's 6-pointer. The Wellington Phoenix and Newcastle separated by just a solitary point and 2 places on the table, both with realistic top 6 aspirations, which remain well and truly alive. Jets have won 5 of the last 7 between the 2. Victory again today would lift them into the top 6 for the first time since New Year's Day. For the Phoenix, a return to Sky Stadium for the first time in 6 weeks. They've played in Palmerston North, Melbourne, Campbelltown, Tasmania and Gosford since they were last here at Sky Stadium. Wellington looking to get onto the front foot nice and early. Joshua Soterio already has shown us an example of his pace. What sort of pattern are you expecting the game to slot into early on, Jacob?
Well, the interesting thing is that we've seen a change of formation from Arthur Pappas. Had been utilising a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1 up until this point, but he shifted to a 4-4-2. So that indicates that he's going to go man for man up against Ufu Tale's 4-2-2-2. I think that is a defensive-oriented decision, and I can expect this fluid football that the Jets are famous for to continue.
2 eye-catching sides who fans of both and also fans of the A-League men's in general enjoy watching. Missing a couple of key players today. Newcastle with the aforementioned Becca Mikkeltadze and Reno Piscopo, both unavailable for this one as they nurse their respective injuries. Jugarkovic plays this one forward to Oscar Zavada. The flag has stayed down for the meantime, and Oscar Zavada shoots as the flag goes up on the far side. Would not have counted.
Well, that's an early warning shot for the Newcastle Jets. We talked about how at times the Phoenix will go front to back very quickly, looking to find Oscar Zavada, not just to hold the ball up, but to get him behind. And he's already scored twice this season.
Yeah, Nico Kerwin, as we understand it, still not able to return to play after a serious injury. So, yeah, likely to be either Elliott or Ingham who slots in at right back when they always play China later in the month. We'll have it for you on Sky Sport, of course. Both of those internationals, one here and one at Eden Park. Zavada, a little flick to David Ball. He holds on to it, but needs help. Boschinier, Kraev helps! And helps it just over.
Well, he scored in very similar fashion against Western United. Looks to open that body up and go for the far post. Lovely play from Zavada, dropping off the line. David Ball wins the battle, finds Kraev. And he was looking for Duncan's left-hand post.
Here's Soterio. Ingham. Grozos slides it to Thurgate. Players come together. Bahaja with a chance. It's blocked and cleared. Best chance Newcastle have had, and it might still be there for them. Soterio was looking for Saito. Wellington having a bit of trouble clearing this. And a foul on Oscar Zavada, so we can all catch our breath.
Well, that's worrying for Ufuk Talay. The black and yellow back line parted and allowed Angus Thurgate to bear down on goal. And Ollie Sal coming up with a wonderful reactionary second save. Not sure where that was going or who was there from Newcastle Jets' point of view. Managed to scramble it away.
Still there, Kraev, tight space, and it's blocked and cleared by the Newcastle Jets.
Angus Thurgate with an important intervention there on the 18-yard box.
Ball forward for Bahaja. Is he onside? He is at the moment. It's taken a flick, and it's gone behind. It'll be a goal kick, and the assistant referee on this near side, Mark Rawle, has kept his flag down, so clearly it stayed onside. Trent Bahaja.
Well, it does look very close. He peels off the back of Steven Ugarkovic there.
Goes behind Thurgate, and maybe there's a bit of a mini break on here, although only Ball and Zavada are forward. Zavada heads off towards the right. Gets it. Can he get it out from under his feet? Yeoman goes to deck. Zavada pulls it back. They're back in numbers. David Ball, who can he set up? Yansas off the post. Kraev, he can't poke it in. Newcastle escape.
Well, we said they were controlling the game. They've just self-inflicted. Newcastle Jets gave away the ball in the middle. Really not much danger, but the Phoenix front two created a chance. And they've got Jack Duncan, the post. And then a scrambling clearance to thank for not going behind. Just said Arthur Papas will be happy. He'll be pulling his hair out about that one.
That'll give Wellington a little bit of confidence. Absolutely as close as they've come to troubling Jack Duncan. Thurgate read that one well, and he might be able to turn attack and defence into attack. Rather can't. Saito is quick, but not that quick.
And here we go. Here's the chance. There's a great run from Zavada. He realises ball's heading left. He goes right. Good pass to find Zavada. Waits for Yeoman to bite. He does, gets his head up. And this is sloppy from Thurgate. That's the second mistake of that phase. And Jan Sas goes keeper's side, allows Jack Duncan to get a big left hand on it.
Moragas wins a throw off Dane Ingham. Fourth yellow card of the season for David Ball. It has been issued for dissent, we're told. Sas and Kraev combine well. Boshadek Kraev across the 6-yard area. Zavada thought about going for it, but then left it to Callan Elliott. And he's fouled over there by Saito, so Wellington with a bit of a wind in their sails as we approach the 40-minute mark.
Well, they're starting to stretch their wings, the Wellington Phoenix. Great work from Kraev. Good combination play with Sas. And Zavada just simply couldn't get away from Hoffman. A lovely little pull of Oscar Zavada there to ensure that Zavada wasn't free at that back post. And then here's the foul given away from Saito. Jan Sas now more of an angle to get this dangerous left foot around the ball.
Sean Evans happy. Sas lines it up. Plenty of elevation on the delivery. Dropped by Jack Duncan and poked in to the back of the net by Callan Elliott. It is a first A-League goal for the fullback. Fresh back from suspension and into the back of the net. And Wellington lead.
Well, Jack Duncan's asking, where's the foul? He's received a yellow card from Sean Evans. But that's the fourth mistake from Jack Duncan that has led to goals in the last month, all from crosses. You can see the frustration initially. Kraev is going for the ball. Duncan doesn't get that knee up, doesn't give himself protection, drops to Callan Elliott, and he slams that one into the back of the net. The Wellington Phoenix player that's often been the creator, the provider, gets one himself. Well, if I'm Ufuk Talay, although we're in stoppage time, I'm telling Tim Payne to drop this one in exactly the same spot that Jan Saas put it before. Big physical presence for the Wellington Phoenix up now. And Jack Duncan has already demonstrated that vulnerability under the high ball.
Two-man wall, Bahaja and Saito. Tim Payne and Jan Saas. It is going to be Tim Payne. He does drop it over that side. Zavada got a head on it. It's behind for a corner.
Well, and Sean Evans has got the hands up here. You saw the immediate reaction from Zavada and Kraev. They think an arm has been raised and the ball's hit it. Here we go. A bit wider and higher that time from Tim Payne, and Thurgate's arm is away from the body. That would be harsh, though, from my point of view. Yes, it makes the silhouette, if you want to call it that, of the player bigger. And Zavada's quite clearly trying to get that ball back into the 6-yard box to find a teammate, and the Phoenix did have a number there. Evans is having a few looks at it, though.
Let's see what he has decided. Sean Evans awards a penalty. I think that's pretty tough on Angus Thurgate.
I think potentially that's where the rule needs to be reviewed. I'm sure Sean Evans has got this one technically correct, as informed by the VAR.
Oscar Zavada has the chance in the shadows of half-time to double Wellington's money from the penalty spot. He's scored one and missed one from the penalty spot this season.
There is no guarantee for Ufuk Talay here. The Phoenix have not been good from 12 yards.
Zavada against Duncan. The pole is on a roll. 11 now for Oscar Zavada, and Wellington 2-0 ahead.
Well, somewhere Jeremy Brockie is getting nervous. He's looking over his shoulder, and he can see the pole advancing. It comes from this free kick. Tim Payne hangs it up to the back post. Zavada's trying to get it back across goal. Thurgate is trying to defend, results in the penalty, and that is smashed down Route 1. No doubt about that one.
Another one, and he matches the likes of Shane Smeltz, Roy Krishna, Uli Davila, who all scored a dozen at various times. That is the last action of this first half, and Newcastle will feel as though things haven't gone their way at all. They were good. Very, very good for large periods of that match. But the Phoenix have done a bit of a smash and grab at half-time here. The Phoenix lead Newcastle 2-0. Second half underway. Wellington Phoenix in their yellow and black, kicking from left to right on our screens towards the southern end of Sky Stadium. Newcastle in their blue strip, heading back towards the north. Oscar Zavada with an early opportunity in the penalty area, pulls it back. Yeoman calmly chests it back to his goalkeeper, but the Wellington Phoenix out of the blocks early in the second half.
In terms of approach, I think we can expect Arthur Pappas to double down on this attacking football that Newcastle are famous for. The consequence of that, though, Jason, is that there will be larger spaces for the Phoenix to exploit on the counter-attack. And when you've got the industrious David Ball and the hulking, energetic presence of Zavada, we've already seen it, really. It is dangerous.
Here come the Jets with their first opportunity in the second half. All the way along the carpet from Jason Hoffman. He has scored a brace and a goal against Wellington Phoenix, Jason Hoffman. First game of the 2009-10 season, a 3-2 win for Newcastle over the Phoenix. in the Hunter Valley. 2 goals for Jason Hoffman that day.
Oh, what a servant of the A-League the Hoff has been.
Newcastle looking to pass out past the press, and they've done it pretty well. Grozos has it. Buhaja. Saito's in the area. Can he find him? He can! And he puts it away on his starting debut. And Newcastle are back in the contest, courtesy of their Japanese acquisition, Manabu Saito. Ollie Sale looked like he might have been able to smother it, but Saito had other ideas. And all of a sudden, the complexion of this match changes.
Newcastle Jets have exploded into the second half. This all comes from Angus Thurgate. He gets the ball round into Grozos, and then it's a case of the Newcastle Jets exploiting the space and the lack of numbers for the Wellington Phoenix. Space in behind. Trent Buhaja looks up. Knows Saito's going to be charging into that back post. Finds him with the plum. 2-1.
They're back into it, Newcastle. And back into it with some style. Buhaja. Wharton with a vital intervention because Saito was lurking again if that ball had gone past.
Well, this time it's Aterio, drops off the line, gets into that pocket in front of the Phoenix back four. And once he gets his head on a swivel, he's looking for that ball in between centre back and full back. So dangerous for Newcastle Jets.
Short corner this time. Grozos. Thurgate shapes to cross, does cross. Jason Hoffman heads it back onto the roof of the net. Ollie Sale wasn't sure. A looping header from Jason Hoffman.
That became a dangerous situation. No one at the back post. I think Hoffman is looking to get the ball back across goal. You can see his Newcastle teammate standing there.
It's found its way to Ugarkovic. Oscar Zavada is down again for Wellington. And this is all getting a bit scrappy, and Newcastle might yet again take advantage through Joshua Soterio. Numbers forward for Newcastle. Saito again. Goodness me, he almost got a brace. He has won a corner, though. And Newcastle, what a first 15 minutes or so in this second half.
Well, Saito can't quite believe it. Neither can I. He's bearing down on goal. Ollie Sale heading across.
Kraev, clever, gets away from Ingham. Goes to deck, and it's all ball, says Sean Evans. I'm happy with it. Here come the Jets again. We're end-to-end. Buhaja tries to stand up Tim Payne. It's there on the edge for Grozos. Costa Grozos, saved by Sale.
Big save, big save from Ollie Sale. The Phoenix are floundering, and he comes up with a big left hand.
Costa Grozos had a good side of goal there. Here's the foul, or what Wellington Phoenix thought was a foul on Kraev.
We've certainly seen those given, but the Newcastle Jets don't wait for you. They're down the other end in a flash.
Into Hoffman, and behind by his former teammate Stephen Ugarkovic for another Newcastle Jets corner.
Well, as play developed there, there was only one man for the Wellington Phoenix outside the 18-yard box. They are going deeper and deeper. They're being forced back and back by Newcastle.
Brandon O'Neill. He thought about a shot, but then thought better of it. Ingham. The cross is good. Thurgate brings it down. Back across the 6-yard area. Saito!
They're banging on the door. Can they kick it down? The Wellington Phoenix switch off. Thurgate drops off Ugarkovic. It falls to Saito. And he puts that one into Rosed. That's Steven Ugarkovic. He needs to get on the ball, move the ball side to side, deny Newcastle possession.
Man down for the Jets. Might be Saito, I think. This is not what Arthur Pappas wants to see. Jason Hoffman believes that something untoward happened to his teammate.
Well, he's clutching the lower leg. That is dangerous, as we see here. As Tim Payne who comes together with him. Well, Trent Bahaja goes down under Costa Barbarossa's challenge.
Short one this time. Brandon O'Neill into the area, and it's just gone wide. That would have been an own goal. Or has it come off Soterio? Well, certain that had a yellow shirted player, but the replay will tell us.
It goes through a forest of legs, it looks like.
Yearman, Newcastle's captain, what's he got? Calmly out to Steins. One of the extra 5 minutes has elapsed. Steins into the area. On the edge, the volley straight at Sale. Carl Jenkinson looking for what would have been his first A-League men's goal, and how crucial would it have been?
Good ball, dangerous ball into the box. Jenkinson, great control, gets that one on target.
And one Oscar replaces another with Van Hattem on for Zavada.
This is quite simple. Another body for the box as Boxall heads towards his goalkeeper, and Van Hattem's pace is going to be utilised. They want to see energy from him. He has to run down everything now for the Wellington Phoenix to get over the line.
Has he got the ability to hurl this in? He does. And it is a free kick the way of Wellington, and that whistle is about the sweetest sound they could hear right now.
And it hasn't taken Nico Boxall long. He's already squaring up to Matt German. A small but important touch there as Nico Boxall managed to get enough on that to stop the development of play for Newcastle Jets.
A quick check of the watch from Sean Evans. Still time to play as they appeal for a foul, but quickly sprint back into position. Whistle in the mouth. A precious, priceless, hard-fought, hard-earned 3 points for the Wellington Phoenix. How important might they be? The Jets gave it everything, but came up short. The Wellington Phoenix 2, the Newcastle Jets 1.